What is up? This is Super Mario 127, and I'm gonna be doing the the speed test between the 3DS and the Switch. I've got the Nintendo 3DS to the right of me, the Nintendo Switch to the left. I'm gonna start off by doing the boot test. Alright, so the boot test has started. The 3DS turned on first, the Nintendo Switch turned on second. And as you could see, the home menu looks different from the Switch. Looks different from the Switch to the 3DS. So as you can see, the 3DS, so on the Nintendo 3DS, the home menu has music, the Nintendo Switch's home room does not. Alright. So all the icons on the Nintendo Switch, on the Nintendo 3DS's home menu looks different. You've got all the different things on the top right here, while the Nintendo Switch ones have it on the bottom. And you can see right here that the Nintendo Switch, or the Nintendo 3DS has a built-in camera inside it, while the Nintendo Switch does not. Like, you don't have this stuff on the Nintendo Switch. But you do have your screenshots. Your screenshots and videos on the album. You could see how many videos. You could see that I have a lot of Mario Kart 8 videos, most like 30 seconds. And some screenshots. Some of them are 6 seconds though. Like, you can see that this one is a 7-second video. But this isn't the point. But now let's skip to like starting software. Opening certain software. So first of all, you can see that the Nintendo Switch does not support virtual console games, while the 3DS does, including the old school Wii U. But now let's start off with opening games. So, we're gonna open them simultaneously. I'm gonna press A. Alright, so the software title is opened. Let's see how long it takes to load to the game. You can see that the Nintendo Switch started first. The 3DS will start second. And now let's get to returning to the home menu. So, you can see the Nintendo Switch returns to the home menu a lot quicker than the 3DS. The Nintendo Switch returned to the home menu in like a millisecond, while the 3DS took about half a second. So let's do closing software. Well, this one supports saving after closing the software, but this one asks you. So, alright, I couldn't catch it, but you could see that the software is already closed in the Nintendo Switch. The 3DS took about 1 second to close. So now let's do opening the Nintendo eShop. So, let's go to Nintendo eShop. 3, 2, 1. It has this different load-up screen. The Nintendo 3DS takes longer to open. Okay, let me just enter the password on the Switch while I'm at it. Alright, so the Nintendo Switch's Nintendo eShop menu does not have the music, while the 3DS does. Okay, so a virtual console. Virtual console, and I'll try and search on the Switch. Oh, wrong one. Virtual console. Okay, so a virtual console. Now, you will not see any virtual console games on the Switch, while you will see them on the Nintendo 3DS. Oh. Oh, search for the wrong one. Yeah, but anyways, you will see virtual console games on the 3DS while you won't on the Switch. Alright. And now let's go to settings. Going to settings. Now the startup screen on the settings is different. You have all these 4 options right here. Now you won't see airplane mode anywhere in the 3DS. While at the beginning of there, you could see airplane mode there. And when you go to internet settings, there's no like little guy to guide you, while there is on the 3DS, where you got this little cube guy to talk to you during the process. And then you get this type of help when connecting. So now internet settings. Oh. Now when you go to internet settings and go to change the connection settings, you can see this. That there's a little that there's 2 arrows right there. But if you go to change settings on the Switch, all you get is just a scroll thing. And the data management screen... Yeah, the data management screen is different. So on your Nintendo 3DS, you only see how much storage you have left in the SD card, and not on the system memory. Or you don't see it on the first screen of the data management screen. You only see it right here, in block form. See, I have 4,617 blocks of available storage. That's 4,617 blocks of free space. And you see the software and how many blocks it's consuming. Like Nintendo Battle Arcade is 580. And Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars is 1,659. While on the Nintendo Switch, you can see that's calculated in gigabytes form. Like you can see that's calculated in gigabytes form. So, what you could see here is that there's a quick archive. While the backup on the 3DS is like quick archive. Well, it's like quick archive, but the way you do it is different. Like for some software titles, but for some software that does not support backups, you could still get this, but it's gonna be loaded once. It's like archiving it. And the Nintendo Switch has this too, but if you select it, you can see that it frees up 1/10 of a gigabyte, so I'll have 18.1 gigabytes. And then if you tap on Archive to free up some space, it's like backing up the software. Like it's gonna delete the software, but it's not gonna completely delete your save data. Okay. Alright, so a system update. So when it comes to performing a system update on your Nintendo Switch, if it's already up to date, well, you see it's up to date, then it won't restart. But if you update on the 3DS, and even if it's up to date, it's gonna restart itself. I'll show you just for a proof of concept. Plug in the AC adapter to ensure that the system doesn't lose charge during the update. Okay. I'm only at 2 bars. And the Nintendo Switch does not restart during this. And what's more different is that there's a profile option. Like the profile option, the profile menu is different from the Switch. Like you only get your profile on the system, but it's only one of them, and that's your name. But on your profile on the 3DS, you get your name, your birthday, your region. And that's only it. And right here, and when it comes to the current date and time, you can see up here that on the Nintendo Switch, the time is only shown in 12-hour form. On the 3DS, you could see that's in 24-hour form. And it's not set by default. And it doesn't set by itself. Like you have to manually change it. But on the Nintendo Switch, based on your region, it reflects on the current time. Like you can see in my area, it's 6:32 p.m. And the Nintendo Switch also has an option to turn on and off battery percentage, while the 3DS does not. Because on the 3DS you do not get a battery percentage icon, all you get is just the 4 bars, so it's basically 25%, 50%, 75, 100%. While on the Nintendo Switch you get 1% precision. Like when it's off you won't see anything obviously, or you could just tap it. The icon will look like it's halfway. and then you could turn it on. Because like, and another thing is that, well, let's jump to the charger thing. And you can see that if you charge a Nintendo Switch, it will reveal the battery percentage. That's another difference for the 3DS and Switch. Especially when you unplug it too. And now, when you do it on the 3DS, as soon as you plug it in, well, I've got a portable charger here. Okay, so it's plugged in, and you could see that there's no indication of, as you could see, there's no like screen that says system battery percent. It just gets the charging right away from that icon right there. And even if you unplug it, it won't show it either. Well, you can see that there's no like no showing the battery percentage anywhere, even if you plug it in or unplug it. But I'm just gonna keep it charging because it's at 2 bars. Okay. And there's also a system transfer option too. Now when it comes to transferring, well, a Nintendo Switch, well, back at the early release, the Nintendo Switch did not have an option to transfer, but now it does. But now, on the system transfer on the Nintendo 3DS, you cannot transfer back and forth. You cannot transfer data back and forth between 3DSs. But on the Nintendo Switch, you can. Like once you transfer data from one Switch to another, it could be transferred from another Nintendo Switch. Like, you could do it as many times as you want. There's no limit. Another difference is pretty self-explanatory. On the Nintendo Switch, you have the little detachable Joy-Cons. So, you can see that they're now off the console. And pretty straightforward, but the 3DS does not have those. So you can't detach these buttons there. If you try, you will break it. Alright. And finally, when it comes to resetting all settings on this 3DS, like, instead of saying initialize, it says format system memory. The Nintendo Switch does not say format, it says initialize, meaning erase everything. And when you initialize the console, you get all this warning that can be scrolled. On the 3DS, you got all this. And no. And there's also an option to erase everything on the console without deleting data. This will basically... Well, I'll show you how to do it. You will obviously need to turn it completely off. Most people don't know how to do this. So you will want to turn off the Nintendo Switch. That's like power cycling in a way. And hold down all of the buttons. The volume up and down buttons. And you will see maintenance mode. This is safe mode. And obviously when you're done, you press the button to turn it off. But you've only got 3 options. The Nintendo 3DS does not have this. Initialize console without deleting data. Are you sure you want to initialize the console? No, I'm not doing this. This is just for comparison. Now on the 3DS, if you want to erase everything in this 3DS, there is no option to erase everything without deleting anything. Okay. And now to turn it back on. Alright, and everything's all done. And that was the comparison between 3DS and the Nintendo Switch. So, thank you so much for watching this and keep liking, commenting, and subscribing.